Sacramento community shared strong concerns about climate change at workshops and meetings this past year. We've heard that the city should address climate change through mitigation, stopping the carbon emissions that cause global climate change, and adaptation, preparing for the local impacts climate change will bring. Examples of these strategies include reducing fossil fuel energy use, waste, and pollutants to help the city achieve carbon neutrality by 2045 by balancing carbon emissions with carbon removal or eliminating carbon emissions altogether, and preparing communities for hazards such as floods, fires, smoke, drought, and extreme heat. So how can we achieve all this? Big and Bold Strategy 1. Facilitate transitioning buildings and vehicles away from fossil fuels to clean electricity. Most of Sacramento's buildings and vehicles still burn fossil fuels such as natural gas, gasoline, and diesel. The key strategy of reducing emissions from fossil fuels leverages the fact that California law now requires the state's electric grid to be 100% carbon-free by the year 2045. To achieve that goal, more clean electricity from renewables like solar power and wind energy is being added to the electric grid every year as fossil fuels are phased out. New technology offers affordable, clean, and efficient options for electric heating, water heaters, and stoves, and electric vehicles are getting better each year. Electrification is one of the most powerful tools Californians have to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. To make this happen, the city would need to require new buildings to be all electric. This can lower construction costs, keep power bills about the same for most families, and have significant environmental and indoor air quality benefits. Require anyone filing a building permit application to replace appliances like gas heaters, hot water heaters, and cooking appliances with electric instead of gas models. This would gradually transition existing buildings away from natural gas. Work with SMUD to provide discounts and financial incentives to assist low-income residents with transitioning their homes from gas to electric appliances, and continue to support the use of zero-emission vehicles with electric vehicle charging spaces and panel requirements for new developments, as well as zero-emission car share expansions such as GIG to serve more neighborhoods. If all of our buildings and cars in the city are electric by 2045, we will reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 87%. Big and Bold Strategy 2. Increase the amount of tree canopy cover in the city, prioritizing investments in areas with the most extreme heat, poor air quality, and areas with populations most vulnerable to the effects of increased and extreme heat. Increased and prolonged heat waves are one of the biggest climate change-related threats to Sacramento residents. The urban heat island effect makes urban cities hotter than they would normally be because pavement, cars, and buildings all absorb heat and store it even after the sun goes down. However, trees can dramatically reduce the urban heat island effect and keep whole cities cooler by providing shade and preventing pavement, cars, and concrete from heating up. Trees also improve air quality and sequester carbon. In Sacramento, trees remove 392 tons of air pollutants and sequester 73,451 tons of carbon each year. Now, some Sacramento neighborhoods have more trees than others. To help cool the air and remove pollutants in areas with lower than average tree canopy or where there is more air pollution, the city could prioritize street tree planting in low canopy, disadvantaged communities. Big and Bold Strategy 3. Develop a neighborhood resilience network program that offers resources, trainings, and strategies that empower community residents. If community members are prepared for an emergency, everyone will be safer and more likely to make a full recovery. The city could develop a program to train community members, including those with additional needs, and provide resources on how to plan for an evacuation, a shelter-in-place order, and how to communicate in an emergency. A pilot training program could start in 2 Sacramento neighborhoods that are most vulnerable to climate change risks.